So when you're calling around to coin shops to find out what they would pay you for your 90% silver dimes like these right here, should it matter to you what they are also selling it for? Now, the reason I ask you that question is because it's become apparent to me over the years that many of you find that to be very important. And while I'm not arguing that it's a good way to judge whether or not a shop is good, for example, a shop that buys for 10 but sells for 12 is a lot better than a shop that buys for 5 and sells for 2 million. But when I'm going to sell, like when I'm out trying to find where I can get the most money for my silver, how much they're turning around and selling it for isn't really on top of my radar, because it doesn't matter to me if they're selling for 15, but the shop that's paying me more is selling for 20. I'm just trying to get the most money I can for my silver. So I got a lot of comments like this. This viewer said, you should have gotten their sell price as well. That would have been really interesting to see the spread each one had. If the 12 to 13 place was selling at the best price over other shops, it could be why, etc. Now, that's a totally fair opinion for you to have, and I'm certainly not going to argue that you're not entitled to that opinion. But to me, when I'm calling around coin shops to find out what I can sell my silver for, I'm not necessarily concerned with how much they're selling it for on the other side, because I'm just trying to get the most money I can for the silver that I have to sell. So for example, in that video the other day, we called around coin shops and we had very, very extreme differences between some of the shops. We had one shop offer us between $12 and $13 per dollar, and one shop offer us $17 per dollar. That is a huge difference of between $4 and $5 per dollar face value. So if you were going to sell a $100 face, that's a difference between $400 and $500. That is a huge difference. So would I be concerned if, let's say, the shop that is selling or buying for 12 to 13 is selling for 18 versus the shop that's buying for 17 selling for 20? No, because I'm trying to get the most money for my silver. So I would take it to the shop that's going to pay me the most, which in this case was the shop that offered us $17 per dollar. SD Bullion is at it again. Last year, they gave away a full monster box of 2022 Silver Eagles. Now this year, they're doing it with a full monster box of 2023s. If you want your chance to win a full sealed monster box of 2023 Silver Eagles, make sure you head over to sdbullion.com/silverseeker or click the link in the description below. Thank you to SD Bullion for sponsoring today's video. Now, of course, I've gotten some comments from some other users. For example, this user right here, it sounds like he's a coin shop owner. And I just want to say thank you, by the way, for watching my videos. And I really do appreciate you being here. He says that wholesale prices are brutal right now. We have to keep the lights on. If I had someone bring in 1,000 face, I would need to wholesale it, as I have tons of 90% in stock. I can't cut my own throat. Oh, I get that. I 100% understand that. See, this is the reason, for example, this comment, this is why we don't do what this comment said. You need to put the names on blast. No, I don't, because there are a lot of coin shops that can't necessarily afford to pay really strong right now. Either they're sitting on a ton of inventory or they aren't selling it at all. And like he said, he has to go out and wholesale it if he bought a lot at once. There's a lot of people, a lot of coin shops right now that are sitting on a glut of inventory because of the lower demand on silver. And I am not here to call out or put any individual coin shop on blast. There may be a number of reasons that the shop that offered us 12 to 13 offered us 12 to 13. Maybe they're sitting on 20,000 face and they don't need any more. But I will argue that 12 to 13 times face is still really low. And I imagine that this commenter, and by the way, thank you so much for watching my videos. I would imagine that this commenter would agree that 12 to 13 times face is way too low, because you right now can wholesale it out for at least $1 over spot. In fact, I know SD Bullion, my sponsor, is paying $1 over spot. I know Upstate, which is a wholesaler, is paying at least $1 over spot as well. So buying the 12 to 13, you can still wholesale it out for around 17 times face. You're still making plenty of money. You shouldn't be buying it that low, and I'm sure this guy would agree. But I totally get where he may need to buy it a little bit cheaper because he can no longer sell it at retail. It's not like it was back in March, April, May, June, where everybody's buying silver. He doesn't have as many customers coming into the store and buying the silver. So if he gets too much of it, he has to sell it to wholesalers, which obviously is going to be less than if he were able to sell it across the counter. I'm not trying to judge every shop's individual situation. And I am certainly not saying, and by the way, I have personally done this many times, where I have supported shops, and this just isn't coins and bullion, this is local shops in general. I many times go to sit down at eateries and places like that that are local, even though they're going to be more expensive, because I love supporting local businesses, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I am not saying that if your local shop who has an owner that you love is paying 16 and you could go somewhere else and get 17, but you want to support the local shop and you're not hurting right now, so you're fine with that. As long as you're okay with it, as long as you know what you are doing, as long as you know you can get better elsewhere, but you would rather support them, that's fine. In fact, I love it. That is fantastic. But this isn't the situation when we're calling around random shops around the US, is it? No, we are calling shops to find out what the most we can get is, and we are calling shops to find out what the market is looking like. And clearly the shop that was 12 to 13 was nowhere close to what this current market can support right now. Because again, like I said, you can literally ship it out. For example, in his comment, he said if he had to buy 1,000 face at once. Well, 1,000 face is plenty to sell to a wholesaler, to an online retailer. In fact, I would argue that if you were to buy 1,000 face across the counter at 12 times, like that one shop said, and then ship it out for 17 times, you just made $5,000. That's pretty darn good, I would imagine. I would imagine that you could pay a little bit stronger than that in that situation. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is going to be sort of a surprise, because we are going to make a cold call. In other words, we are going to call Keith, the owner of CoinZone in Muskegon, Michigan, also the host of the Coin Crew here on YouTube. He is a coin dealer who also has his own YouTube channel, and I would love to get his thoughts on this topic. So let's get Keith on the phone and see what he has to say. Again, this is a cold call, and they are actually close. So we are calling his cell phone to see what he says about this. Let's get him on the phone.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Keith from the Coin Crew. This is Silver Seeker on YouTube. How is it going?
How's it going?
Hey, it's going good. Hey, because you're in Michigan, I do have to let you know I'm recording this call. Is that okay?
Yes, it is.
All right. So, guys, we are, as I said, cold calling Keith, and I just want to ask him a question. Keith, I want to ask you a question about a topic that I'm going to be talking about on this video. Do you think that to the standard average consumer, in other words, let's say a person is wanting to sell their silver to a coin shop, do you think that it should matter to that person what that coin shop is then going to sell it for, or what should be more important is how much they're going to get and who's going to give them the most? Be honest. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are a person should sell the product silver with what they feel they're happy with. What the coin shop is going to sell it for is irrelevant. It's, are you getting enough to make you happy? Because sometimes when, as a coin shop, I buy silver, I literally do sell it for less than I paid for it, the very item. Because the market moves.
Because the market moves. But I'm just saying, like, let's just say you're a person who needs to sell some silver, and you have one shop, these are made up numbers, but you have one shop that's going to pay you 14, but they're selling it for 17. And then you have one shop that's going to pay you 16, but they're selling it for 24. Like, are you concerned that the second shop that's going to pay you 16 is selling it for so much more? Or should you be happier that you were just getting more money from your silver from that shop?
Well, I guess you could say that's a two-edged sword. You should be happier that you're getting more, but I would say that because they're making more, I think it's more of a moral standpoint. Do you want somebody to make more money off you, or do you just want to get the most? And then you have to take into granted, who do you work with best? Are they both cold cases where you haven't dealt with neither one of them before?
Yeah, these are both cold cases.
Okay, well, I would recommend not worry about it. If you're trying to get the most, sell it to who's paying the most.
Sell to who's paying the most. And I agree with that. And I said in this video, and I just want to get your opinion here. So I don't have a problem with someone supporting a coin shop, even if they're going to get less or pay a little bit more. If it's a local coin shop that they want to support, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Correct.
But on the other hand, let's say you have a lot of silver to sell because you need money. At the end of the day, it also shouldn't be an emotional decision when you're trying to get the most for your silver. So, you know, you may support a shop when you're able to, but if you can't at the current time, you shouldn't be upset that you can't support your local shop because they're not paying strongly when you can go elsewhere and get the most for your money. At least that's how I feel about it. What do you think?
I think when you're buying or selling silver, I don't think emotion should play a factor. You should stop and consider what you really need to do. Do you need to sell it for more, or are you just selling it to help somebody out because they need the silver? So if you're in a position where you have to sell for more, I don't think you should worry so much about what they sell it for. I think you should worry about how much are you going to get in your pocket.
All right, that makes sense, and I appreciate the insight. Keith, I'm sorry to cold call you like this, and I just wanted to get the opinion from a coin shop owner, and I appreciate you being that opinion. Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
All right, we'll talk soon. Bye.
All right, bud.
All right, so it was definitely great to hear Keith's opinion on this, and I just kind of want to, go into what he said. And he said something that I kind of already hinted on as well, is that it's not like if you want to support a shop that's local to you, even though you can get a little bit less or you can get a little bit more if you go elsewhere, it's not a problem with that as long as you have the knowledge, as long as you know what you are getting yourself into. All too often, we see shops that take advantage of people that don't know any better. In fact, I had this one commenter that said this: I carry mail and I was talking to an elderly gentleman on my route on Saturday. We both collect silver coins. He said just this week that he took his junk silver coins to a local shop and they offered him 9 times face for them, which he did not accept. I wasn't there, but I see no reason why he would lie to me. He is over 80, so dealers might think they can get away with lower offers. That comment right there is disgusting, especially if the shop knew what they were doing by trying to take advantage of an older gentleman because they thought they could get away with it. There are absolutely shops out there that will do that. So again, if you want to support a shop that's paying lower, although I would never recommend supporting a shop that's paying 9 times, don't get me wrong. If you want to support a shop that is paying lower, that is fine. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with you supporting local business at all. In fact, I absolutely approve of it. But make sure you know what you're doing and make sure that you know that you could probably get elsewhere, but you were okay with supporting your local shop. Nothing wrong with that. All right, I have one more comment I want to share with you. Take a look at this one. This one comes from a coin shop owner, Big Daddy Hoffman, who is a viewer of mine. Thank you, Big Daddy Hoffman, once again. He says, another 9999 fine video, or maybe I should say another fine 90% video. He goes on to say, I get these calls all day and I don't mind them at all. People should always call around and try and get the best prices for gold and silver. Again, keep in mind, this is a coin shop owner saying this. I absolutely love to hear that. Lately, or depending on my mood, when a customer calls and asks me what I'm paying or how much something is, I reply with what price would make you happy, all the time knowing exactly what the price is. It's an icebreaker that makes for some pretty good fun and interesting conversation. Thanks for the video, Silver Seeker. Life is good and God bless. Well, Big Daddy, God bless you as well. And again, thank you for watching and thank you for that comment. And thank you, just for being an awesome coin dealer, because I think we all appreciate good coin shops like yours. So guys, we're going to wrap it up there. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, do me a favor, don't forget to like and subscribe and help us continue to grow. And additionally, if you haven't seen this video yet, you should check it out because it's a great one. We will see you next time and have a fantastic rest of your day.